Well, you may not hear this name a lot, but Barron Trump, still in high school, or rather hasn't really graduated technically yet, already getting his feet wet in the political arena with this. Former President Trump's youngest son just named a Florida delegate for this year's Republican National Convention.
And as the 18-year-old's political debut, Barron Trump will serve as one of the 41 at-large GOP delegates to represent Florida at the July convention, where the party is expected to officially nominate his father as its presidential candidate to run against President Joe Biden in November. Our political panel is here with us. We have Democratic strategist Marty Dolan, Republican strategist Kate Monroe, attorney and former California Republican Party chair Tom Del Beccaro. Thank you to everyone for coming in. Now, Barron, he's still in high school. Marty, is it too soon for him to get involved in politics, or is this something that he's been wanting to do? Tom, I'm going to go to you first.
Well, it's sort of unclear how much he wants to get into it. Look, I met Richard Nixon at 7.5 years old, and that got the bug going with me. And last I checked, I'm still doing this decades later. But the question here is, what is the media going to do with this? And remember, when they had a young Clinton, she was off limits, right? The question is, how hard are they going to go after this guy? Because if Jen Psaki can say on national television, maybe Trump will die, you get a flavor of where their intensity is at this moment.
We did play that clip earlier. And apologies, Kelly Sadler is here, commentary editor with the Washington Times, and we appreciate that. And Kelly, with that, we'll go to you on there. This is a family affair. We've seen several members of the Trump family serving as delegates at large or involved in the RNC in some capacity. If you care to talk about that and maybe the shape of the Republican Party and what you're seeing here with the Trump family.
Well, you know, it's a family business, politics is now, and it's encouraging to see that Barron wants to go in it. He was in the White House for 4 years during President Trump's first term, and Melania took good care of him to make him out of the public spotlight, to have as normal childhood as he possibly can. And he's seen the vitriol that has been thrown at his father, at his sister Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner, who also served in the first administration, as well as at his mother. So he knows what he's getting into. He's 18 years old. He's making this decision for himself. And I'm very encouraged by it, that he's got the fight and tenacity and wants to stand behind his father. I think that means a lot. In terms of the Republican Party writ large, it's Donald Trump's party right now. He's the one that's setting, the goals and what the priorities should be in the next administration. I think Congress right now is at a lame duck period because, you had the move to oust Speaker Johnson, but I don't think they're going to be passing much before the November election.
Kate, can you juxtapose for me? It seems like just yesterday, the liberal media was attacking Barron, so many jumping to his defense, saying it's a young boy, don't attack him just because of who his father is. And now it appears that he's standing up, standing behind his father, ready to fight through politics. Are you noticing this as well?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what an amazing young man. I don't think people are going to come for him as hard as people think. If you just look at him, what a sweet soul he is. I will make a really interesting note. Not everyone knows that there's this book called The Last President, and it so happens his name is Barron Trump. So I just find it very interesting, the odds that this book was written, more than 100 years ago, and it talks about a young man named Barron Trump ending up being the last president. I love this. I love that his family's rallied around him for a second time. God bless them, and I hope that inevitably he wins in the general.
I'm not familiar with the book. I'll have to look that one up. Tom Del Beccaro, let's switch topics if we can. Debates. Set it up. This is what we heard. There was a ceremony at the White House yesterday celebrating the Las Vegas Aces, WNBA team. But there was a question asked, and Biden gave a 3-word response, asked whether he would debate former President Trump. Here's that moment. Set it up, and he also said something similar on Howard Stern's show. He did so live. Tom, your thoughts? Do you see a Biden-Trump debate in the future, or do you not?
Well, this would be catastrophic if Biden doesn't, because that would be proof that he can't handle this to the majority of the American people and probably, I think, end this election. So he's got to do it. The question is, how are they going to do this format? How are they going to negotiate this for him on the left to keep him from being himself and make this a shorter debate shorter questions, on and on, because Biden unleashed would also cost them the election. This is going to be much-watched TV. It has to be.
Kelly, I mean, Trump's kind of holed up in court right now, but he did post a video letter to Biden on Truth Social saying he would even meet him outside the courthouse to debate.
Yeah, no, Trump is very excited about a potential debate. And, you know, I'm still not sure Biden will go through with it. You had his handlers basically say last week that they're trying to make his campaign events shorter and more to the point because the longer the events, the more ability he has to basically screw it up. So I agree with Tom. If there is a debate, the left will want to very, very well orchestrate that. And the Republicans and the RNC have got to be ready to push back. Because we don't want a scripted debate. We don't want a short debate. We don't want the moderator to be the debater. We want to see these two men on their own, think on their feet, and juxtapose their policies against one another.
We actually have that sound. Let's play it.
Dear Joe, now that you've committed to debate on the ratings-challenged Howard Stern show, let's set it up right now. I'm ready to go anywhere that you are. We could do it in D.C., even pinpoint the White House, or in New York when your radical left fascists are finished with the election interference against your political opponent, me, because we're going to win and we're going to win big. In any event, let's get it done. The people of our country deserve to know why you have allowed 15 million people, and probably many more than that, into our country from prisons and mental institutions, and terrorists are pouring into our country. They're invading our country. And you're letting them do it with your open border policy, and it's a shame what you're doing to the United States of America.
So there's Trump. And Kate, many have been pointing to this fact that if Trump is convicted on any of these felony charges, it's an out for Biden. He won't debate a felon, but he at least is standing tall in these moments now, saying set it up, but waiting to see what happens with this New York criminal trial. Your thoughts on this, Kate?
I think it's embarrassing if the two of them were to actually debate. It would be a complete annihilation. If Trump just brought up the one point he just brought up about the border, debate absolutely over. I don't see Trump getting convicted on any of these. Biden's not going to get an out. But I would say that it's like hitting the lottery, the odds that Biden would actually step on a stage, or rather that his handlers or the puppet masters would let him.
All right. That is Kelly Sadler, Kate Monroe, Tom Del Beccaro on a number of topics there. We do appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy Friday.